Tony, Evita, so lovely to meet you in person. Thank you so much for coming.
My goodness, the paparazzi, I'll see.
Please, will you take a
This
seat?
is
We organised a special treat for you. We thought, what could we give you that is semi-traditional South African? And we thought date balls. And because we know that you have a lot of balls with what you say in society, and we are honoured to have this date with you.
You say it just like Donald Trump would. I love darling.
Yes. Do you love darling as much?
I love darling. And of course, darling is English for scutty.
For scutty.
Scutty.
Yes, yes, yes. There really is only one way to properly finish celebrating our 1 year of broadcasting, our 1 year of magic memories. And the only way to truly celebrate such an experience is to have the most famous white woman in South Africa, Khanya Evita Bezuidenhout. Good morning to you, ma'am, and welcome to the show.
And good morning and congratulations on your birthday. That's so sweet.
We're honoured. You know, we haven't had big names on the show for the month. We've been doing giveaways. And then when we heard there was a possibility of having someone like yourself join us, it was an incredible honour. EB even put paid to his leave. He said, no, I'm not going to take leave. I want to be at work just to meet Khanya Evita.
Wonderful. I'm so honoured. Thank you.
So you have a evening lying ahead of you tomorrow night, the 2nd and the 6th of November at Artscape Theatre, an evening with Evita Bezuidenhout.
Yes. I'll be on a stage at the old Nico Milan. You're all too young to remember, and most of you wouldn't have been allowed in to the Nico Milan in the old days because you were not members of the National Party. But I am so glad to go back to that lovely stage, and I'll be there on Tuesday night, that's tomorrow, and Wednesday at 8 o'clock, but Sunday also at 3 o'clock and 6:30. Now 3 o'clock means you can bring your children and your grandchildren, because I will be on that stage and remind us where we come from. And help us celebrate where we are going, in spite of all the speed wobbles. And you know, there are lots of speed wobbles in our politics, more than on the road.
There are indeed, and I want to talk a bit about our parliament. I want to talk a little bit about your thoughts on Donald Trump, because I believe your son De Kock was recently in America and brought you back a Vote Hillary placard, which is very good. Are you not a fan of the Trump?
A fan of the Trump. You know, just imagine me being trapped in a lift with 6 drunk rugby players. I would not be in love with him either. No, I think Donald Trump should build buildings and just do what he does. But you see, democracy means that anybody can make a fool of themselves. And the bottom line is that we, the people, decide. If the people decide to vote him into the White House, well, that is a democratic decision, mainly believing that most people who just said, I'm not going to be bothered to vote, it doesn't matter, will suddenly realize how much it matters. Look what happened with Brexit. The young people didn't vote, and now they can't go back to Europe because the United Kingdom is moving closer to Iceland. Talk about it, because frankly, no, I will talk about it now because you asked me. I'm not scared of questions. I was in 1984. I was at the United Nations helping with the catering of the South African mission. You know, the sanctions were being very, very strong, and we thought if a nice plate of bobotie and a nice glass of wine might relax people, we would break down the sanctions. And I was free on that one day, and I went up 5th Avenue to a little restaurant to have some spaghetti bolognese because somebody said it was so nice. And then across there was this new building, this beautiful, tall building. And the people said there's a wonderful view from the top. So I went up to the lift of this tower, and just as the lift doors closed, this man got in. And he was very friendly because New Yorkers are friendly. And he said, how are you? I said, I'm fine. And he said, did you have a nice lunch? And I said, yeah. And he said, spaghetti bolognese? And I said, how do you know? He said, you've got some on your blouse. I'd missed some of the sauce on my blouse, guy. I was so shocked. And I looked down, and just as I was going to take my tissue out of my bag, I heard him go, and he spat on his fingers, and he suddenly came to me, and with his fingers he started rubbing this place on my blouse. Now, do you know where that was?
Yes,
it was here. You know, people on the radio can understand what I'm pointing at. Rubbing up and down. Ek sê, nee, sis, moenie aan my vat nie, jou vuil uil. And he, of course, didn't understand. Well, I'd want to cut a long story short because it was a very long lift journey to the top floor. He touched me inappropriately. I think I was assaulted in a terrible way that I, as an Afrikaner, had never even known how to pronounce. And I had some cook sisters, which I was taking Jacqueline and Nassus, and he squashed my cook sisters. That was the end. Nee, my magtig, my magtig. Anyway, when he left, when the lift doors opened, I was there. My hair was all over the place. My one earring had fallen to the floor. He turned to me and he said, with a funny little face and a smile, he said, have a nice day. And he left. You know, now, I honestly don't want to say it was him.
No.
I don't want to even mention names here.
No.
But can two people in the world look the same? With this horrible orange hair and those tiny little hands which touched me everywhere. Hy was soos 'n jagsmeerskat. It was so awful. And I really, even talking about it, I get
I'm so sorry.
quite nervous.
Don't
No,
talk
no,
about
I have confronted it.
Yes.
I have not gone to lawyers. I don't want to get involved with the American election.
Yes.
Because, we have people in the ANC who have more than 3 wives, so they also have small hands.
We will continue with this conversation. Evita Bezuidenhout in studio with us this morning on Magic 828 AM. Are you proud to be referred to as a politician? I mean, this is a listener who, in their eyes, sees you as a politician.
I don't mind. I am actually a grandmother, which is much more important and much harder work. But politics is part of our oxygen, you know. And maybe the problem is that too few of us realize that we can change for the better if we get involved. And people get bored. Once the EFF get enough money, they will start wearing suits and they will behave like everybody else. And I must say, when Jacob Zuma makes a speech, I sent him an SMS the other day before he made a speech in New York. I said, President Zuma, enjoy your speech, but remember, put your finger under the word you're reading, not on the word you're reading.
Would he be one of your favorite politicians? I mean, you used to have a lot of fun with the ones of the previous dispensation.
Well, we only have fun in retrospect. I didn't have fun at the time, and really, truly, I don't collect politicians, Guy. I collect people.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're about bringing South Africa together, no matter what your culture or creed. You've always aspired to do that. And I see that you have a TV channel now, which we need to talk more about after Fleetwood Mac, a TV channel that is doing just that. You're aiming to bring us all together.
Every Sunday, I have Evita's Free Speech on YouTube, which is an international, intergalactic TV station.